obviously it feels great to make it to this game. You know that as well as anybody with now being your 10th time in a Super Bowl. But does it have a different feel for you going to this Super Bowl?
Well, it's an exciting time. I think that's very much the same as always. Obviously a different journey this year, changing teams and being in a different environment. We always talked, and it was going to be perfect from the beginning because there was a lot of different things that we were dealing with. We didn't have meetings. We didn't have any, off-season. Training camp was obviously very different than anything any of us experienced. But, we got off to a decent start during the season. We had a pretty rough patch there in November and kind of found our stride here late in the year. Played a lot better football in the fourth quarter of the season and then have played pretty well in the playoffs. So it's going to take a huge game for us to finish this the way we want to finish it. But proud of our team for getting to this point. It's a tough game to play in. It's a tough game to get to. It's a really tough game to win. And we're going to have to be firing on all cylinders to get this one done.
Yeah, let's talk about firing on all cylinders. One thing you do is make sure you got all the cylinders you need. And Jimmy and I had a chance to talk to Leonard Fournette, or as you call him, Lenny. And postseason, man, 62 touches, 313 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And you've always loved the guy you can throw to out of the backfield. And he told me you're working him overtime. A little bit on Fournette, and then a little bit on Scotty Miller. Two guys that no one's really talking about, but you seem to know where they are when you need them.
Lenny's been a huge addition, to this team, and his role as first and second down back, but also a third down back, which it's really hard to find those guys in the NFL, guys that can play all 3 downs. And he really relishes that role, not just in the run game, catching the football, but pass protection as well. So I have so much trust and confidence in him. Also, Rojo's done an incredible job for our team, almost 1,000-yard rusher this year, is a lot of explosive runs. And then Scotty Miller's just been kind of a little unsung hero for us. He's finds his way through the middle of the defense or sometimes on the perimeter of the defense, and he can really run away from people. So tremendous player, got a great future ahead of him, and just proud of those young guys for making the plays in the biggest moments, which we really needed this year.
Well, Tom, I actually called one of your games. It was against Detroit. It was the day after Christmas, and it just seemed like everything was starting to click for you guys offensively. But I want to talk specifically about you. I've been to a lot of different teams where sometimes the play didn't light up right away, when you're learning through it. And because you've been in the same offense for so many years in New England, then you switched to the Bruce Arians offense. How long did that take for you to where it really started to really click for you, where you could see the picture and it lit up, where you really understood what was going on?
Yeah, I think it took just naturally it takes longer than, 10 minutes to do that. You know what I mean? It takes months, and sometimes 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, whatever it is. I mean, it's just a matter of, getting confident with the verbiage and, the reads and, for example, one thing I would, we'd call something where I was for 20 years one thing, and then, the same word means something entirely different here. So when I'm communicating, I'm saying, no, it's a shake route, and the shake route here means something that the way it means something totally different here than it did where I previously was. Those things in your brain, you just got to sort through. So, and then the reads, and then, the players, you're getting to know your players, you're getting to know the system, you're getting to know situational football. All those things are a little different. It's not entirely different, but it's just a matter of getting in your brain so you can ultimately react and anticipate so you can, go play well.
What did week 12 teach you, Tom, when you played these guys the first time? I mean, they start off fast, and that's for the listeners, and then you guys came storming back. What did that game teach you? Are you looking at that game as it relates to preparation for this one?
Yeah, I think there's something to be learned from that game. Definitely, there's certain things that I know that, they're very talented at. They've they capitalize on bad football. You make a bad read, make a bad throw, they're going to be all over it. So I threw a couple interceptions that game. I think those really hurt us. We're going to have to play a great game to beat them. These guys are the, Super Bowl champs from last season. They've played great football this year. They've been in some close games, found a way to win basically all of them. Talented in all 3 phases of the game. Got one of the great quarterbacks in the game right now that can bring them back from any deficit, any point on the field. And, they're very explosive in all areas. So be a battle. I think it's going to be a great game. I think we're still an ascending team. I think we're still getting better. It's a good thing to go into the last week of practice and feel like, wait a minute, we haven't played our best football yet. And this last week of practice was a really good week of practice. We're going to need one more good week, and then we got to keep our energy and go ready to kick it off against one of the great football teams in the NFL.